All right, we'll call this meeting to order. It is 5:39, and we will start with roll call. I'll start. Andrew Zucchini.
Maggie Julio. Rodney Portuan.
Steve Bremo, George Alvarez, Goody Blanco.
And we have Jonathan Gill here as our town liaison. John Tinkle is absent due to medical reasons, so that is excused. Order of business, referrals, additions, deletions. Anyone?
I motion to approve the agenda as this.
A second.
Thank you. I don't know if I've ever done that before for that one, but thank you. Public comments. We have guests. It's always exciting when we have guests. So I will hand it over to our guests. You can introduce yourself.
Sure, yeah. Hi, I'm Judy from the Veterans Committee. Thank you for giving us a couple of minutes. And this is Larry, another one of my fellow committee members, and Bill. We're here just to have, ask for some help. We are really in high gear for the reindeer run for the 5K, which is December 10th. We are looking for sponsors and runners and sponsors and runners. So I know you guys are like, I guess, the conduit between the community and the businesses. We have a list that was provided and the businesses were all emailed by staff. And we're just now following up on the list. It's 900. There's about 900 businesses on this list that I was looking at once I deduped it. So any kind of help you guys could give us to bring some more sponsors in and make this a great event. It's going to be different than all the prior years. I'm kind of a visionary and planning a little different things. We have like a band, a petting zoo, a bunch of vendors for after. So it'll be like a family fun, a fun zone. I'm not just like run and leave. I'm sure the runners that run the diehards and come run, they get their medal, they leave. But we're really looking to make this an event for the community, as it always, every event that I've attended in money, which is just great. So this is one that we really want help with. It takes a lot of people there.
Absolutely. How many sponsors do you have so far? Anyone on board?
So far the title sponsor, which is Headquarter Toyota, which I happen to work at. And
Wink, wink.
yeah, and we have we just got a sneaker company on board. I don't think he's right inside the town. TD Bank is probably coming in, and a couple of other vendors that service Headquarter Toyota. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm not real heavy yet inside Miami Lakes. We've got last year's or 2019 sponsors that actually signed up. So maybe I can share that with Jonathan and I'll say, because I want to keep hitting the safety board.
That's what I was asking.
Crazy. So,
no, that's exactly what I was asking, is just not to be harassing the same.
yeah, no, I don't want to harass anybody. It's going to be a great event. We want to get people that are the sponsors on, on all the printed materials on time. Everything takes so much time now to get done and have it done on time. So what you guys could do to help us, it would be greatly appreciated. We're up for ideas.
Is there anything from, I mean, I know obviously money is always great, but as far as in kind, is there anything that you're looking for? Is just like having underwritten specifically?
Yeah. Oh, so Acai Bowl is going to do smoothies.
Okay.
So that's their in kind. That's our only so far committed in kind. We would love to have like a fruit sponsor, like either cut oranges or apples or whatever the other 5K fruits or bananas. I guess. Other than that, for in kind, I don't know offhand, but we're definitely open to it. Okay. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, sometimes it could be a bank that actually has their water bottles already, labeled. And so instead of writing, whatever, they have their water bottles and that's promoted.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry.
It's funny. Management,
We got 3 wagons in this room, so.
management gave this type of water bottle to employees, so we don't keep using the cups and recycling.
Right.
How many bottles were you interested in? Not like this. It's not going to be like
No,
this.
yeah. So I mean, we're hoping to have 700 runners, and with 700 runners, hopefully we'll have. I'm like thinking 800 or 900 people, maybe plus 1,000. I don't want to overpromise too hard.
Okay.
You don't have to have that many, but
Right.
that's the hopeful attendance at the event. And the past one was, I think, just under 700. So I think with the added entertainment and activities for after, we may attract more, and even community might come out even if they're not going to the run. They'll go to the vendor station in Veterans Park. It'll be all around the whole perimeter of Veterans Park and the stage in the middle. All right, thank you so much for my time. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Are you on your own?
Myself.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Hold on.
I thank you.
No, thank you. Sorry. Thank you so much.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Just one thing, and if there's any questions about anything else, and I can all the upcoming events. The Lock It or Lose It campaign came back up. We're having a lot of problems with people. People are not breaking into the cars. They're just opening the cars. So everybody keeps saying they're breaking into the cars, they're breaking into the cars. People are leaving them unlocked. Again, it shouldn't matter, right? We shouldn't have anybody coming by and opening anybody's cars, but people are doing it. But the good thing is when the car is locked, they're not going through the car. So if the car is locked, they go, they check, and that's still an attempted burglary. So we can write it up as such. If you see it in your camera, we'll write it up, and it's still an attempted burglary. But what we want is to minimize loss of property. So if the car gets locked, then usually we don't have any issues with that. One big thing that is coming up is they're noticing, because we're looking at the footage, a lot of newer cars, when you lock them, the side view mirrors close, and they're looking at that, and then they'll keep going. So like if you have an older car, you push it in, they'll think that, you know, or your newer car, you look down and you go, hey, wait a second, the mirrors are out. Oh, I didn't lock the car. So that's a big thing that we're having.
And if the key falls in, they'll steal it.
Steal it.
Oh, yeah, and they'll go inside the house and all that good stuff, because we had that before, years ago, where they would, you're welcome, they would look for the key fob in the car, and then the key fob was attached to a key, and then it would go inside the house. And then now they're inside your house too.
Or your garage.
Yeah, through the garage, yeah.
You know, some cars have the clickers built into the mirrors.
We had a guy that it didn't matter, he would just check the cars, and that's what he wanted, and he would sit in the car and start pressing the buttons, and if the garage opened, he would go inside the house. And if not, he would leave, but he would go inside the house, he would go to the refrigerator, he wasn't okay. You know? Go to the refrigerator, have a drink, eat. And
Wow.
people with two-story homes are like, man, I was sleeping up there with my kids, and this guy was
You write down.
watching TV.
Wow.
Another notice that the TV had been,
Oh
you
my
know,
God.
so this guy's not.
The VRBO.
Wow.
And then he would take the keys and take the car.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if all he wanted was a beer and food, I'm like,
Right, right.
maybe
I
I
was
would
gonna
have
say
said, but the
No,
key
no,
is,
maybe he was hungry
took
and he
the
did do
car
that
at
too.
the end.
Maybe he was hungry and did do that too.
he wasn't dumb, he wasn't dumb.
There was a neighbor that was laughing at the other neighbor because, oh, the guy was coming through your house, and that would never happen to me. And as he was
Famous last
walking
words.
to his house, he noticed there was a beer thrown on the curb that nobody drinks that beer. So he went to check his camera. The guy had gone through the backyard, through the house, in the house, out the house. He had gone through the whole thing, just the same way as he had gone through it, just he had a notice.
Wow.
It happens.
Nice. Thank you.
And then I saw those tricks with the glass doors. How they just push them and then just get in. Oh my
Right.
God. The glass doors,
Yeah, the sliding glass doors.
the sliding glass
The
doors.
sliding glass
Pick
door.
'em up. They pick them up and just push them and then pick it in. It's horrible. Oh,
Well, the good thing is if you lock your
You're
dog in
looking
there,
over
like
like
I did one time, you can get out of there.
right.
My dog, like, he closed some sliding glass doors and he locked the door from the
You have to
inside.
do, you have to look at the
I
camera.
have it
on my
Oh, yeah,
door.
okay.
That's
cool.
Can
you do that with impact doors?
Yeah,
What?
and
Not alone.
the one in, yeah, right. And it is, but a lot of times it's drug related. And I can't say that was
No, no.
or not, but drug related or actually jewelers, unfortunately, because of all the jewelry at home and stuff like that, they get targeted. And then we had the one in Satori, and it was a famous singer, and they followed him home, and so like there's always something that's involved. It's just not a random home invasion.
That's my understanding. I mean, I asked because we had our meeting last week. I'm a president of the HOA at Silvercrest. And our security company does Gramercy, Royal, and South. Right. And they were talking about the same thing with the key, you know, the car left open. But the big thing was that there's really nobody breaking into homes.
Right.
you know, released deliberately, unless it's like the bird act.
No, we have, I mean, the crime rate here in the town is almost non-existent. So even that is the norm. The thing with the cars is the norm everywhere. Because it's always young kids, and in the summer it always goes up. So that's always gonna happen, but unfortunately, like inside of Silvercrest is a gated community. So people tend to leave their stuff open because they feel it's safer, which normally it is, but then
They jumped the gate.
people jump the gate and they go, oh, perfect, now all cars are open because it's a safer place, and people tend to not close or lock up.
Which is one level of deterrent, I think. Thank you.
No further public comments, so we'll move along. Approval of the minutes. Hoping everyone's had an opportunity to read them. John did a very thorough job.
I approve it. I will do,
Thank you.
approve.
Can I get a second? Second. Thank you, Ron. Can I get, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Move along. Budget. Oh, hold on. It's record to show that Matthew is here and
Yes.
present. And I apologize, Matthew. I did not realize you have two T's.
Oh, yeah.
They will be
The biblical
corrected
way.
from now on. It's okay. Neil has two L's. Yes.
Cool way.
So now that I know, it will be corrected for the future, so I apologize. Our budget. So everyone should have a copy of our budget from last year, as well as our current fiscal year budget, which is what we did ask for, which is the 19,020. From last year, I know at the last meeting, there was a lot of discussion of trying to spend some of the money that we had not been able to meet and vote on in a timely manner, such as for the videos, and that we were trying to capture before the year end. But unfortunately, because the videos were going to be taken now,
Right.
they could not be prepaid. Even though I will say this firmly, I do believe we will agree to disagree, because even if we had voted on it a month earlier, I don't think we would have had them filmed in time anyways. But that's neither here nor there at this moment.
It's not when you go into contract.
Right, it's, yeah,
Thank you.
after that meeting, right, the day after, it was essentially getting into motion, because we only had so much time between that meeting and the end of the fiscal year, plus I had the storm pop up, so we were, it was a really big crunch. It involved a lot of trips to the budget office, which was, it's good, it's informative. I guess the theme of it was any prepays, anything considered a prepay or any deliverable that would come in the next fiscal year would have to go from the next fiscal year's budget. So if we go back to the last meeting, that was the videos and the events moving forward. So in effect, we couldn't move on it because they were deemed as prepays, and I would stay as a discussion with us in the finance.
Like, the events I get,
Right.
but as far as the videos,
Yeah, the videos would have had to have been
Months ahead
given
of
to
time,
us,
right?
right,
Mhm.
by 9:30, because our budget closes 9:30.
Disagree.
thank you.
Now, I do want to,
And then we go reserve a spot somewhere, like even for the chamber, I'm assuming they would have to put the deposit down
Correct.
6 months ago.
Right.
So,
and I'm sure, not to start putting blame on it or trying to find the boogeyman, but having, 4 liaisons in 4 months probably didn't help
Right.
with things moving along. I think at last meeting, we were all confused about what this MLCH, the chamber expense was. And there was this idea of, was it paid or not? Is this money that we have? And that, that sort of was a progenitor of us being confused about how much money we really had to spend. That involved me going back to April 2021's minutes and those council meetings where that 2020 was taken out of a cul-de-sac fund for a beautification project. So if you guys remember, this committee only had $17,000 of a budget at one point. And then it was presented to council to have an extra 2020 be a trustee membership to the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce.
Great energy.
So that's what that 2020 was, and it hadn't been paid until last week or the week before that one night, or the last week of September.
Okay.
So we didn't know any better, which, you know, if we had known, would it have really changed anything? Probably not, because it's earmarked, it has to be spent a certain way anyways.
Right.
Um,
So then, did the 2020 get spent? Because I see here it's only consumed at 41.
So the renewal, I guess, period with the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce, and the 3,000 was paid for the Miami Lakes Chamber. That's what we did clarify. The I believe it was.
Out of the marketing budget for the town.
mm,
It's a town budget, it's
Yeah,
not,
it should be part of the town budget.
that is membership.
That's membership.
Right, for
It
the,
has nothing to do with the export. or anything
Right,
else.
that's.
right, that's Miami Lakes Chamber, that's a 3,000.
Right.
That was
Right.
taken care of. We
That was
didn't, we didn't have to
from
worry
the
about it.
city.
Right, right, that's not part of our budget,
Because
that's
the
not part of
the
our
town
The
budget.
town pays for that.
Right. So, that we didn't have to worry about, that 841.67, where we fall in the renewal period, it's, May to May with the Greater Miami Chamber. So it was essentially prorated, from, you know, September to the end of April.
So the balance will now hit. like,
Right, I think we're gonna have to explore having it, renew all at once, because we don't, there's no use in having it prorated.
Right.
But it's taken care of. So,
Well, it's the same reason why like the 10,000, I don't know if you remember, last time it was like at 666, like it
Yeah,
was like
it-
2/3 of it was paid. And it was because the other third hit the next fiscal
Well,
year. and they
2/3
met- I don't know, it doesn't make sense.
Actually, this is something that the budget officer.
Confusing, and it's
It's very
It's
confusing.
very, this is something the budget officer and I talked about.
accounting nightmare.
That $10,000 for the local intel was split between the marketing, which was the 2/3. And then the other third came out of miscellaneous expenses. So once that was,
Which is funny because, I'm sorry to cut you off, but
Right.
that seemed like something that we could not do last meeting when it came to appropriating funds.
Right,
We couldn't, for the same project, be taking out of two different
right.
pockets, like two
Yeah.
different pots, but yeah.
and I think, I don't know the logic behind it, but that's something to do with local intel and how they bill. Clearly it didn't help, so that's. I hope that sort of gave an idea of where we are with the budget. I mean, we can, of course, still do those events that we voted on.
But it's this year's budget.
And the videos, if we're
Yeah.
still interested in
Yeah.
that,
Absolutely.
it'll just have to come out of that
Sure.
new budget.
Okay.
And when I say new budget, it's really miscellaneous, because if that $10,000 was earmarked already for local intel, and that 2020 is earmarked for the Greater Miami Chamber,
Then we don't have it, yeah.
essentially, so. That's where we sort of stand. And then I'm gonna say this.
Wasn't the Greater Miami wasn't that coming out of
So,
the town
the way-
budget just because the chamber?
so we had proposed that it be paid for out of memberships and dues for
Right,
the town
I went to the
budget.
town
However, if
council,
they were
okay.
not able to do it, then we would ask for that money to fund it in our budget.
It's the 3,000 for the Miami Lakes Chamber and the 2020 for the Greater Miami Chamber. So that's, I don't know why, I don't know the reasoning, but
I don't know.
if you guys are interested, that's the April 13th.
So instead of putting it in the memberships and dues for the town, they put it in our budget and gave us that as part of our budget.
Right. So they pay for it through you guys.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Correct.
If that's the,
How convenient.
if that's an appropriate way. Well, they pay
Yeah.
for it through you by giving you the money.
Right.
It's sort of, is it convoluted? Probably.
Right.
But that's where it starts. I will say, for this, there's a carryover process with budgets and unused budgets. It's really specified, and maybe I shouldn't say too much, but it's specified that carryover process is for contributions and donations. Say for that Veterans Committee, that they had $10,000 of donations left over, they could, they're obligated to, present that to council, hey, we want to move this forward. Since the EDC, none of that was donations, it's not really advised that you ask for that money back. But you guys are entitled to ask council for anything, and it's their discretion to give you the money. Again, I don't know that it would fly because it's on a donation or contribution fund, but lots of money is lots of money, so
So
I hope that sort of clarifies.
note taken is we have moved, and again, I apologize for being absent for the last. But, if there's no further question, I think we all will agree to disagree. And I think what we have learned is we need to jump on our promotional videos like now.
Yeah, Diana,
Since we already have a, estimate of what it would cost and
Right.
everything else,
I
at
sort of,
least we have a running start, versus in the past where it's taken so long to get to where we're at.
Gani and I are still in contact, we're still
Be optimistic.
generally playing with the same numbers, if we're fine with that. I just let him know that, hold off for a minute because now things got a little complicated.
Sure.
But he's still on board, obviously, business is business and. Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanna, I sort of hope that me being on this committee and not having such a, who's gonna be the next liaison. There's some sort of calming of the seas and we can be productive, I guess.
So the 22, 23.
Yeah.
That's what we got, yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, all the committee budgets are the same.
We have $7,000.
Yep, and just, and so to understand, the 10,000 that's out of marketing miscellaneous, that's gonna be,
Local
like,
intel.
that's gonna go to local intel, and that's the complete price, right? So
Correct.
we really can't touch that.
Correct.
And then the 2020, that's going straight to, so,
Right.
right, but the prorated, is it? Because we got out of here 841, is that all they billed us for in this last year, or that's per quarter, or what? Good?
I think we're sort of walking through.
Hi.
I think I'm doing, that's our budget officer.
Hi.
Um,
The time.
I think we're fine. Are we,
Any
do
questions?
you guys have any questions?
So the 2020 is that Memory Lakes Chamber or is that Memory Lakes?
It's
That's
right
a
here.
great-
Greater.
great-
Greater
Great,
Miami.
so we should change that.
Yeah,
That's very misleading.
Correct.
Can we change-
GMCC, not MLS.
Yeah. Like on it says Miami Lakes Chamber, and it really is Greater Miami Chamber.
Yeah, that's just the project code. So it's for any kind of chamber that will be charged to that account.
Right. Yeah, it just always comes up as confusion because we're all like, that's not the chamber. Because then everyone
Right,
knows Miami Lakes
Any,
Chamber.
any chamber type thing will be charged to that account. So whether it's Miami Lakes Chamber, whether it's Greater Miami Chamber, it'll come out of that line item.
But the Miami Lakes Chamber should be coming out of membership and dues for the town, not out of the economic development. Committee.
Right.
But that's Greater Miami. It's not Miami
Right.
Lakes Chamber.
Right.
Yes, what you're saying is correct.
So
It
the
is,
$3,000
it is
is
currently
taken
being
out of
charged
the town.
to the
Just
town.
making sure. Yeah. Just making sure.
Yeah, you're correct.
Okay.
So that 20,000, the 2020 is Greater Miami.
Right. So I think the question that we were just having though is that from last year, it shows 841 being spent. So that's like kind of like the prorated piece, I guess, because they're May to May.
That I don't know because I believe what they submitted this year wasn't, I guess, the level because there's different levels.
Yes.
So I think what was budgeted during that time, I think he had, I haven't heard your meeting. So
Yeah.
him and I had discussed when the council had approved the 2020, but I think in this year, it wasn't at the level that was budgeted. So I think what happened is that what was invoiced was for a lesser
Lesser
level.
level.
No,
I don't know.
I think it was, this was one payment and this was a second. 'Cause it
I'm
was-
just confused as to how they're prorating it, because it doesn't, it's that's not a quarter of it, that's not a half of it, like, where's that number coming from?
Yeah, it's a once a year membership.
Yeah.
No, so okay, now this is coming back to me because him and I had looked at it the other day. What happens is that the bill, the invoice for it says May to the
May.
following May. So it gets prorated in the sense that that's not the whole, that invoice specifically wasn't for the entire fiscal year. Where in the year before, when they gave the invoice, it didn't say from May to May, it just said annual. You follow me?
Got it.
Yes. and no.
I get it, I just don't get like what,
It's an
I just
annual-
don't get
it's
the
an annual due.
proration.
Why can't you pay,
right,
pay the annual fee at that point, regardless of our fiscal year?
Because technically the service for it is not for that other fiscal year. It has to be charged to
So-
the fiscal year.
so we were not Greater Miami Chamber members the whole of last year? I thought we had approved this like way earlier on.
was early on.
Okay, I guess I'm just confused as to why it's being prorated.
That, like I said, the invoice for the prior year just said
It's a-
annual.
It's a town thing.
The invoice that came in this year
Oh.
said from May first to the following year.
Mhm.
That's why. So it's the way that they invoiced us. Now, maybe
Uh-huh.
moving forward, we can tell them just invoice us as if it's just for the year
Right,
and that's it in how they invoiced it. So
Because on the invoice, there's a second check that's meant to go out at some point.
it goes to a prepaid account. So it'll get paid then in this current year.
okay, so
The
then,
remaining
So
of
we're
it.
gonna see that.
So
taken
You should see it,
at
yes.
some
Yeah.
point.
bottom line is 5 months will come from one budget.
Exactly.
Correct.
7
Exactly.
months will come from the following year's budget. That's
Right.
just the way
Yeah.
we do it.
If there's a way to, bring it all
I
into
mean,
one, I think that's the way.
What
going
I had
forward, but-
advised him is that when they send the invoice, if they can put it something that it just says annual,
Mhm.
as they did in that prior year,
Mhm.
instead of putting the months, because then what happens, our finance department, when they get it, they have to prorate it.
Because I think the Miami Chamber is from June to June or June to July. It's not October like we do.
Mhm.
So you have those 3 months right there.
We have that with other
Yeah,
with other invoices that,
Yeah.
it would, for me, it would be
Different
easier
categories.
because then you don't, I don't have to account for like, okay, did I budget it for in this year too? It's just easier if it's just one.
so since we budgeted for it in 2021, 2022.
So what would happen is that it would then again be prorated.
Okay,
But if they do the invoice, how I'm saying that it's just annually, then you will have an overlap
Mhm.
on 1 year. So
So the chamber normally, do they go at town membership or they have an actual?
no, they go from like June to June is what he was saying, or June to July.
Except for the Miami
If I
Beach Chamber, which is
remember
now
correctly, that's what
gone,
him and I
right?
had
Except
looked
for
at.
us now.
Exactly.
January or whatever.
Now it's individually annualized.
No,
So
it's
that's
annualized.
also-
But there's-
We're counting.
Anything else?
on
You guys want me to
We're
sit?
good.
I think-
Alrighty.
I
Thank
think
you.
that was-
Have a good evening, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As well.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Um, yeah, I was talking for you for the last 3 weeks.
I'm sure, I'm sure.
It's a lot of information.
Yeah.
I think the takeaway from that is thinking about getting annually, because looking at that 841 or whatever, it can be confusing in the future.
Not to like, add fuel to the fire, but do we participate in greater chamber?
Why
Greater,
Why do
Miami
I
Chamber
go to many
events?
events as possible?
Yeah.
We
Neil
had,
does.
and I
Okay.
think prior to our multiple liaisons that we, when Willie was here, like we were very, I think, much more active.
Yeah.
Now that we have Jonathan, it's been here for a while, we can get back into.
Okay.
Because Willie he was really good at dispersing the information to,
Yeah.
to the committee.
Because I swear, like, I think I just learned now that this is Greater Miami Chamber and that we were a part of that,
Yeah, that's the next day after our meeting, I went to see what this 2020, like, what does this exist for? Because there's a line item where it has to be something
Yeah.
specific. And I went back into the invoice, I saw from the invoice to Willie, 20 trustee membership, and that sort of kicked off the, crap.
It was actually an event a few months ago.
Was it?
So,
So,
are we okay to move along?
Yes.
Okay, all right, old business.
but again, I will, my takeaway is that I'm gonna see about doing, have it annual thing, instead of just take
Being
5 months at a
projects in
time
it,
and then
yeah.
take 7 minutes. It's not helpful for anyone.
So then, just, again, not to
No.
get stuck on the budget, but so then our available funds for this fiscal year is,
Same as last year.
7,000 essentially.
Yeah, functionally.
But
so
that's-
that was-
but
now that's all bundled up into miscellaneous. We're not gonna see.
So,
promotional
I was gonna say, yeah, so just what is considered miscellaneous? Like if we're,
We
Yeah.
said promotional videos,
Uh-huh.
Marketing efforts, so like if we want to do, Facebook ads and
Okay.
social media ads,
happy hours.
happy hours,
Yes,
thank
okay.
you.
Yeah,
We
events
could-
especially.
Yeah,
I will say it's kind of, I don't know if frowned upon is the right way to phrase it, but having miscellaneous line items, it's a very tricky thing, because again, what is miscellaneous? You know,
What it falls in there.
yeah.
I mean,
so-
when I presented to the council members that were there the day that I did, that was how I explained it. And that's how we had done it the previous year as well. We used to separate promotional, I think, and marketing, if I'm correct, but then we decided to kind of put together, we were constantly moving money back and forth between the
Became
two.
logistically.
And it seemed like they were always for, whether you're buying promotional items for the event or the event, it was always constantly like, they always went in tandem, so.
One last question.
Yes.
So everything that we approved last meeting is nullified.
Correct.
Yeah, that was the,
So we can start over.
yeah, but
With a few items and
But
then we
but
can.
really, it is, that was the rough one, because I would have to deliver, I would have to deliver that news, it got very long and intense, we really had. It sort of all was based on a budget that wasn't doable, so, right, it's just about moving forward more cleanly, I guess.
Yeah. So with that said, the October business newsletter went out. You have the analytics in front of you. I
don't know.
speak to it.
I went through it and it's not great.
Right.
Unsurprised, I would say, I'm surprised that the feedback and the interaction was worse than July, which already wasn't. Great.
Well, it was delivered on a Saturday, so I think that says something. I don't think the last one was delivered on a Saturday. I think it was delivered on a weekday.
That was Wednesday, the last one.
Yeah, so,
Saturday,
I mean, notoriously, unless it's a sale,
Saturday.
Saturday emails are not gonna perform well.
Yeah.
So I would make sure that we don't do that again. I think statistically speaking, Matthew, correct me if I'm wrong, I think
No, you're
Tuesday
right.
emails get the most clicks and then followed by Friday emails.
I think what happened with that was wanting to get it out.
That's going on.
Right, to
But-
not delay.
I wasn't here the first Monday, Tuesday of October, so
That's okay, I think
Right,
moving
right.
forward,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
we don't deliver on a Saturday. I think if we can shoot for a Tuesday or a Friday delivery, those statistically tend to be the best days for emails. No, let's see.
As far as it's popular.
I don't know what that link is.
So we have 6% about emails.
I will say that there were more submissions. The clicks might look a little rough, but that's because we had more submissions that were in email, so there weren't external takeaways. I know there were a few, of course. I know when you do a lot of articles, which are outlinks. Our grants feature has been the same as it was because it doesn't really change much. So the clicks might not be that great, but a lot of it was again in email, so. I guess it's just about updating it for the next time with the. I don't want, and this is my question for, since it was coming up in the next scheduled newsletter, which would follow in January. If you want to do the quarterly, are we okay with that? For January?
For January, yeah.
Because I know we're not, are we meeting in December?
I was gonna ask at the end. Yeah,
Yes.
just to talk about the next two meetings that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we discussed having the submissions by the, I believe it was 10 days before our next
Right.
meetings, was that what it? I think it was.
Mhm.
I think it was.
Just so we weren't submitting it too early, that things would change, but we weren't submitting it too late, so that we would have, ample time to update the newsletter. But if we're not meeting in December,
I think, I'm not sure if it was brought up, but maybe just a calendar invite, a recurring one every
right,
90 days or something on a specific day,
right.
like, or the third Thursday or something.
But
That
my,
coincides with that, that way it
Okay.
just pops up and regardless of the meeting, you guys submit your article.
okay, right,
And that might work.
Right.
the
Yeah.
meetings, okay.
And just to confirm, this is only going out to the BTR list, right?
So we're,
The Miami Biz newsletter, which I believe is
it should be the
It is.
BCR list, but then also, I think from the last,
Like, are we including our networking event
we should be
captures
the
and
last
stuff?
one.
I don't know, I've been,
So like, for example,
Updated
when we
No, yeah,
do event registrations through Eventbrite, we
Right.
collect emails.
I just don't think I've gotten those emails.
Okay, I think
I can
that's
share
gonna
them.
make a huge
Yeah.
We need to make
difference.
sure that-
Yeah,
I thought the last one though, right, the Garrison, that one was, you sent that one over. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was given.
And I know that one was sent
Prior.
over, and so that should have been uploaded.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah, I uploaded everyone when Daniel, because it's, new
Yeah, but
businesses,
no,
but also, in terms of that, I don't. At least I can
I
recall.
mean, either way, I have the Eventbrite login that we've used for the past chamber events.
Yeah.
That's been all of our events. So I think I can just compile that now anyways and send it to you, just in case.
that would
Doesn't
be
hurt.
great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Goes anywhere.
So the next newsletter, we all agree for January, correct? Yep. Okay, and then, we can determine the days out, what
Right,
it is, and a calendar invite will come to make sure that you know.
right.
Okay, moving along, local intel. First, I'm gonna apologize. I have a local intel report. I combined both, the third quarter and the second quarter, but it wasn't until I was printing it halfway through that I realized I had done the third quarter first and then the second quarter. So it's all in one package, but, what you're seeing first is the third quarter, and then the second quarter is back in there. So again, I apologize. I was trying to save a tree. That's why I even doubled up. But we can email this around as well. So you'll see July 1st through September 30th, and then prior to that, it's April 1st through June 30th. If you remember in April and June that we did run a campaign, a marketing campaign that was like, I think it was right March, I think timeframe, March, April. I don't know, Willie did it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes, so March, yeah, it was either March, I have to look back 10 minutes, I can't remember fully, but we all voted on it. I think we spent $250, $500 to market the local intel site. We got a lot of traction from that. But as you can see, come third quarter, we haven't done any kind of marketing or for it. And so our clicks and our views have changed a bit. So you go from like 334 visits to 164 visits. And so I think it's a little reminder of, you know, well, we had talked about one of the reasons of wanting to do those videos is to promote our local intel and getting people to draw and go visit. When we did that marketing campaign, the views that people were looking at was a wide variety of activity. They were looking at competitors, customers, local opportunities, utilities, business climate. The only page that really got a view in this last quarter was utilities. But again, it kind of represents why we should be making sure that we're aligning some marketing dollars to strategically through the year to ensure that people are visiting our website and, you know, finding out more about what Monument Lakes has to offer and our competitive edge.
Yeah, I'm interested in what you guys did with Willie.
Yeah, it was great
Yeah,
before he left. I just know that it made a difference. Clearly.
do you have any idea of what that looked like, what sort of promotion that was? Because I don't remember. I don't even remember, you know, when Victoria was here and.
I'm sure I can find an email that
Okay.
shows, because he sent it out and said that this is what it was. We've been getting a lot of traction. I'll look at mine. Thoughts, comments,
The view times are minutes
seconds?
or seconds,
Yeah. So
very, very short view times, right?
correct.
Do you guys have any, 'cause we're working on this new website for the town and seeing about how we can integrate local intel. I believe we sort of established what we're gonna do, which was figuring out how to sort of embed all the local intel stuff. Do you guys want to see anything specific?
I think the one piece where it shows the airports and the roadway, whatever that map was, I can't think of it. But I think it was very interactive and really nice because I think whenever we are marketing Miami Lakes, we're always talking about location, location, location. And most businesses will tell you that, why, they do business in Broward, they do business in Dade, they, ease of being able to draw employees from both areas. That's usually our big selling point, I think.
I have to figure out, there
And
was,
it's like the one map that actually shows it really pretty and easy to see. Oftentimes we'll just do like, the big map and then like dot, like, here's Fort Lauderdale Airport, this is MIA, this is where we are, but it actually kind of really maps it out in a nice way.
Which map is that? I'm trying to find it.
I don't know if it's competitive edge. Yeah, logistics and accessibility.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah,
And it's the airport network.
like you can do airport network, major road network, seaport. I mean, it really
right.
kind of maps it in a way that,
Does the blocker show up there? Obviously.
Yeah, Opalaka shows up there, MIA shows up there.
You're building another 1 or 2 FBOs.
so, I mean,
So something like that where it's,
it's very,
Opalaka, for us, it's
It's
probably the
eye-catching.
biggest seller, even though it's.
I know, I have to.
So many aircraft that come under on a
Right.
daily basis.
I think we have a meeting tomorrow with the people that are hosting the website and doing all of that. I think there was not an issue, maybe that's not the way we would frame it, but the way local intel is set up, it's modal, which means there are some ways it can be embedded, some ways it can't be. But I'll take that back to them, see what they can play with.
well, because we often, I mean, the current website like describes it in text, and as we all learn, no one really wants to read, they want to see it.
They would
And
see it on a
so
click. they
I
want-
think it's a nice, it's really nice, I
Right.
think.
Even for the flight crews that are overnight or every couple of days, let's say the hotels will be here.
Do we link to this site on our
Somebody wants to come here for 2 days.
Miami Lakes like
Yeah,
main
there's a lot.
site? Because,
Yeah.
right, because but it's on its own URL. It's not, it's like, do we direct to it from our Miami Lakes town website?
I don't know either.
I don't think we do. And that, I think that's also a major,
User-friendly.
right, from a user-friendly perspective, like, I think that's critical. Because we're depending on people to find this site, how,
Correct.
right?
Yeah. Well, I think that's why when we've done the campaigns, if they work right, because you then click on it and it takes you right to it. Versus
Right.
if you went to mylinkbiz.net and then you had to like find it and click on it.
Yeah.
Because even I did it right before we came here, because I was curious what utilities was. And
Right. It
I
looks-
mean, I was like, are they looking for,
On the
FPL?
EDC.
I'm like, I wasn't quite sure. It's interesting, so talking about construction and like, really utilities, like septic and everything else was on the map. But it wasn't user friendly. I agree.
On the
with you.
EDC's
Yeah.
landing page, it's linked.
Right.
How helpful that is, I don't know, because I don't know, often people peruse committee rosters.
They don't.
Yeah, that was the next way. to say it.
Right. But that's why we also, I think
Right.
we try to promote the mylinkbiz.net, but then also once you're on mylinkbiz.net, like how easy is it to get to local and,
Yeah.
is the other issue.
Yeah.
So having it more in more places.
Yeah, having it in more places, and also I'm just curious what keywords they're using for this to pop up on a web search. Because for me to find it, like I wasn't thinking of the URL, and I literally had to put in, for me to find it, Miami Lakes local intel, and that's when it came up. But nobody would know to refer it to that, So what are the keywords that make it, pop up on Google searches, et cetera?
Yeah, the optimization.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you can get that list from whatever company it was that was doing that campaign.
Right.
They can provide you the key list of keywords.
So move along. Okay, on to that, promotional video subcommittee. So we had a quote given to us at the last one. I think we should vote on it again, I guess, for this fiscal year to move forward with our videos. I need a motion.
I would motion to approve the quote presented by Gani, thank you, that's his name.
what the amount was in,
It was $700 per video.
thank you.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any discussion?
We allocated additional monies to the project because $700 was gonna get us, I think, a 30-second clip.
It was 30 or 60, no.
Yeah, 30 or 60-second clip, but basically what we discussed is that with that one video, that would maybe get us like a general, come visit the town of Miami Lakes video. Whereas I think the initial intention of the project was to do that and to have maybe 2 or 3 additional videos that would do the same thing, but also do a highlight of a local business. So we allocated, I want to say, we voted to allocate like 1,200 or
It
so
was-
additional.
With the budget we were working off of,
Mhm.
I believe it was like $2,900.
Mhm.
And
Total.
seeing however many videos that could get us.
Right,
Which if we do 700 per, it would have been 4. I don't know where we stand with that now, though. With our new budget.
Yeah, now that we're back to
We put
7,000 for the
1,500
year.
out of the 1356.
that's what I remember,
Right,
yeah.
15 plus 13.
5633 to be exact.
About 800.
That was what's left over.
Okay,
1356.
okay. So then the total was what, 328?
28, yeah, but that's
Okay.
that's almost half the budget.
Yeah.
Right, I was
Right, which
gonna
is
say,
why-
we can't do that now because now we're down to 7,000 for the whole year. And roughly for our networking events, we use what, like 600, 500?
We're doing 5 million
Per event,
per quarter.
quarterly per event. Is that what you're saying?
It was 600 for Cancun.
We did 600 for Cancun
Right.
because we needed to use it, right?
Right.
But typically it's
Yeah.
500.
No, we weren't getting sponsors at that point.
Correct.
And we still are responsible for another one.
Like the last Crusaders one, I think we did, I don't think it cost the town anything, I don't think it cost the EDC anything, I think it was, do you remember the number?
I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure, I know it gets split up, sometimes the B and I know comes in too, and taps into it.
Usually pitch into.
So, I guess, so the question, I guess, is
How much
do we
money
wanna
do we
make sure
have?
we
Right.
have
So, I
allocated to reserve
I
for
think
that?
regardless of whether we get sponsors or not, it would be responsible if we had in the bank $500 per event. So
Right.
if we do a quarterly event, that's $2,000, right? So we need to have $2,000 in there for any events, right? And then what else do we normally expend on ads, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, like social
That was,
media
that,
ads.
right, social media ads. That was the other thing is, I think part of that allocation to the video campaign was also including marketing the videos. So we had,
Right.
we, we
That was
didn't,
built into it.
right, we didn't just say, spend $3,000 on videos. It was also the marketing that went into that. So 2,000 out of the 7 that we want to have, that leaves us with 5.
Mhm.
And I mean, I don't know if we want to leave another 2 in there for discretionary spending, that would leave us with 3,
Which is back to where.
which is back to where
where
we,
you were.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would
And
propose
that
that,
would give us
yeah.
3 videos, right?
right, 3 to, I mean,
3
3
to 4.
videos, 3 to 4, and then I think that would also include the marketing of them, right? Because if we, let's say we just did 3, maybe that's roughly $2,100, and then we have about $900 to spend on marketing, I think, and
And I
on
think
pay per
we'll have
clicks
it.
is pretty good, right? That's a pretty generous budget, yeah,
Yeah, that's what it is, that's 1,500.
right,
700 for
Mhm.
video.
And this will be
800 for
dispersed
promo.
throughout the rest of the year. I mean,
Correct.
this year.
right.
Does anyone would like to?
So I
An
would,
amendment?
yeah, I would have make an amendment to the motion. So the motion would be amended to be to allocate $3,000 of our 2022-2023 miscellaneous budget for our video project, including the click per ad marketing. And that would be for our next cycle, marketing it throughout the next cycle.
Now to go back to. This is my new deal.
So we have to vote on the
So now we have to
amendment.
vote on the amendment.
Uh-huh.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, and
Now we have to
then,
vote on the motion.
now we have to vote on the motion. Thank you. So the motion is to
The motion is to allocate $3,000
Right.
out of our 2022-2023 calendar year budget to our video campaign project with Connie, including the marketing of those videos for the remainder of, well, for the whole fiscal year.
Now, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Now we're ahead of the game.
We got 2,000 to play with.
Well, I mean, we have 4,000 to play with. If we get
4,000 to play
sponsors,
with.
if we get sponsors for every event, we still got more
Right, you
Gs.
still got some.
Yeah.
Okay, so, no, I mean, because I would really like to get this underway.
Yeah.
I wanna be able to.
These videos,
Donnie's
I-
gonna be excited. He's gonna be like, wow, where did we get $3,000
well,
from?
I mean, the last time we did.
Well, I did let him know about all those and he was trying to work with me. I know he
Sure.
couldn't get those delivered by 9:30,
Yeah,
but he was excited.
yeah.
But I told him, don't worry, like, this is just delaying it. It's not canceled. We're gonna go back, talk about budget. This shouldn't be.
Right.
Yeah,
And this is hopefully it's well.
no, we can move it along, which I'm very excited, because I think the last time we did videos was back when Nicole Singletary was here. And that was a very long time ago. Do you
Wow.
remember that?
Yeah.
We had that company done it for us, so that was a long time ago. Okay, moving along. Item D, recap of the candidate forum, October 3rd. George, were you by any chance there? Anyone there present that can give a recap? I watched online,
I
thought
watched
it was
it
great.
Yeah, I saw it online as well.
Okay, anyone want to do that?
Yeah, they're having another one, or they were planning one for November now, but the person that I was in contact with, I think now, the gentleman's named Hassan, he's an attorney in town.
Yep.
He's heading that up with Lorenzo.
Okay,
So
so is that through the bar, I guess?
Yeah.
Is that, the pampered chef?
That's the, you the other day, right?
There's another one that they're supposedly setting up, but I haven't heard.
Yeah.
anything.
Is it a debate or meet the candidates?
No, I think it was
Yeah, I heard it was gonna be more of like a home style town, like.
it was a work in progress, Lorenzo and him were working on it.
Yeah, I know they're talking to Tico about it too, about location and stuff like that, because trying to narrow down exactly where it was gonna be. I know Trattori was one of the
I
ones.
mentioned we gotta prove some.
Tico was also mentioning some other places, but my dad had his whole thing, you know,
I forgot.
he had his whole injury.
We did donate for
How's
the
your
last,
knee?
He's doing better, he's doing better.
The name
they
was on
didn't
there,
need anything
but it was already too far ahead, so we figured we'll come in with the
for
second.
anything else, okay. All right, well,
And
I
we lost that
guess,
money.
I mean,
It,
we'll wait in here.
yeah, it didn't sound like they needed us.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think, Alice Mills did a great job. So the two, right, the judges was one of them and then the other, so that was from last year. EDC informational webinars, I think, at the last meeting, it was discussed to start them in January, if I'm correct. Is there any further discussion on them? Or
We
just
tabled it, we
Tabled
tabled
it?
it, we tabled it.
Okay, all right.
we tabled it.
So maybe at the next meeting, we can have a little
More.
subcommittee, something that could maybe head it up and kind of confirm before the holidays. That way we're ready to rock and roll come January as far as promoting it. New business items, BTR list. The BTR list of the last 2 months. Printed it out, so I'll send it around.
I think same thing, I'll divvy it up.
Yeah, or we can go through it here if people here would like to assign their names or not. In the past, so in the past, I know Matthew, you're new, I'm sorry. So these are new BTRs, which is businesses, new businesses or businesses that have changed ownership or have changed location. So for example, you can see like Styles Boutique, they just expanded on Main Street. So they're not necessarily a new business, but they did expand. And what we typically do is kind of more of like a welcoming, reach out, say, we're part of the Economic Development Committee, we're here to help. Is there anything, you know, listen to kind of who they are, what they do, kind of get to know them as businesses, what they're interested in. Are they interested in being a part of the town? We tell them about the chamber, invite them to come to chamber luncheons and events. We tell them about ribbon cuttings if they haven't had one yet. It's really just to kind of welcome really and personalize, you know, have someone that's, you know, not in the building
That's
department.
Thank you.
You see?
That's it.
And so, you know, depending on some of these businesses, like for example, there's like a masseuse, massage envy, you know, if it's, or even hair salons, oftentimes have to like, if they get a new hairstylist, they have to like register them. So not necessarily always a new business. So, you know, sometimes we often just go through the list and say, you know, if I'm interested in healthcare, I'd be more than happy to reach out to them. Ophthalmologists, you know, and so forth. So either we can divvy it up and email it out, or we can go through it here. I mean, the list isn't that long.
The only thing that I just did is I looked at the amount of unique, like unique
Yeah.
actual registrations, because there's a lot of repeats, or,
Mhm.
I recognize one right off the bat, they're actually siblings and they work out of the same office.
Right.
So,
Disabled as well.
yeah, the
Disabled,
assembles,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
That's
so really, there's only 20 unique registrations. It's a lot less than what it looks like on the paper.
Yeah, no, exactly. So would you just want to, so how would you like to proceed?
I mean,
Divvy it
yeah,
up
I think divvy it up.
and email it out, or do it now?
Yeah, this one.
Okay, all right. Amazing pet grooming. Anyone like to follow up?
I'll take it.
All right. Next one is Emilio,
The doctor.
the physician. Thank you, doctor. Thank you. And this is usually when John Tingle stuff. George. Warehouse distribution.
I'll take that one.
Okay. Next one, Rubio Construction and Engineering.
My husband, but not related to me. Okay, I'll take it.
Golly.
Okay.
You never know, you might
You
be
never know.
long
You
distant
might be- you might
cousins or
be
something.
related, yeah.
Movement Lab, so, you know, they're a business that is expanding. I think they have a ribbon cutting.
Let's do
think
it,
that they
yeah.
have-
I can do that one.
Or it
I can
did
do that
just
one,
have, you, okay, Matt.
Yeah, we know those people.
I think so. Yeah.
Wasn't he here the last
You
time?
know, they'd be a great fit to get involved with the reindeer run.
Went
That was some other-
440, yeah, but not 40, yeah. Another.
Matthew, I'm like, they'd be a
What's
great fit for the reindeer run.
You're the same.
The next three are the same, yeah.
There's another one
Next
down
year
here.
the same.
Yep.
Nursing. Anyone?
I'll take her.
Remember, there's another one like.
Yeah, there's one on the bottom
There's like one
that's
on the
Yanisi Martinez Soto, and is she on there another time, or no, that's not it?
bottom. I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Okay, eyeglasses.
I'll take it.
Speak. Realty One Group, Royal Oaks. Anyone, real estate office? Anyone? Myla Six Sports. I can do that one. Sorry. I have the festival lights coming up, so I'm not raising my hand as much right now. I'm sorry. Barossa Medical, that's multiple, right?
It's just those two.
Okay, two, sorry. Anyone? No. I'll do it. You, Jose? Okay. Next up is law offices.
Acebo is together, and one down below them, Yvette is also with
Even
them.
their sister.
Okay. So,
I would take it, I'll take it.
I know them, I'll take it.
okay.
Oh,
This nursing one is from above, correct?
Yeah, I have that one.
Okay,
Yeah, I see.
all right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the only ones after this that are all together is AIP preventative care. There's just 4 of them together. That's it. Everything else is unique, I think.
Okay,
I'm sorry. I apologize. Who's taking on the Acebo?
Me.
Thank you.
Maria Carmen Meissen, I'll do that one. They're a new tenant, common. New Day Sports. This one is a cool one. Anyone? Okay.
I'll take it this way.
There is on that. what they do. Okay, so all-inclusive preventative care. George, thank you.
So there's 4 there.
Comprehensive Assessment Center.
Take her.
Okay. Home care,
I can do that, I guess.
okay. We can send you like the little
Yeah.
script, but you
Oh,
can,
this little thing, cool.
yeah, but you can go off script, don't feel like you have to. But
Cool.
it does give you a little synopsis to work from.
Sweet.
One Innovation Labs. Massage envy, so this is like a masseuse that is probably just being registered with, so you can.
I can take it.
Okay.
You need that massage, but.
I want the
I'm just
option.
saying,
I want the option.
I'm
Mario,
just saying.
for-
I'll
for
do
massage.
spells, I'll do spells with T, just because I speak with her, but never on this topic, so.
So let me just clarify, because this last one is like a CPA firm that I know and that I work with. So if they're on here, but they've been in the town for a while, this is because they're adding what?
Is that a renewal?
Died on October.
Yeah, like they're, what, is that a renewal or is that they're adding?
They moved, right? When did they move? They moved over to Crescent Point.
Yeah, but a while ago, right? Uh-huh.
They may not have had. Sometimes not everyone signed up. And so
Got it.
Then you finally a building permit finally catches up. with
Okay.
the businesses. And so sometimes businesses have been there for a long time.
Got it, okay.
Maybe change things.
Maybe they just forgot. to
Or
update
maybe
it.
a new person joining.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
asking. So if it was a
Maybe.
new person
Yeah.
joining, it's what? It's an employee or it's an owner or?
Like the massage, everyone's an employee.
It's a CPA, so.
But
it
I
would be
would,
another.
I would understand the massage envy because a lot of them are independent contractors. So it's like they're adding a contractor onto it. These guys are, no, these guys are accountants.
Yeah, I
Maybe
mean, I
it's-
think real estate brokers, right, you would have to like, do
Yeah.
one, if you joined a new firm.
Right.
So
Maybe
if you're
six
state licensed, you
years.
need to join.
Yeah, like if you're like on
They
the,
don't work under the umbrella that we do in real
DPR
estate.
of the state, you would need to get registered because you're a part of a business. You're an independent part of a business. These guys, I mean, Lee and Nieta are the two
Right.
partners.
Yeah.
That's probably what it was, maybe as a partner, I don't know.
Something. Okay,
I'm not.
Just
like-
curious.
I'm sorry. My knowledge is.
Is that something I could ask Daniel for?
Yeah, like what triggers them coming on the list, other than
I mean,
being a brand new business,
Yeah,
right?
he told me if
Them
it's a new
specifically or anybody?
owner.
Just anybody.
Yeah, he told me a new owner, a new location.
Be a new partner.
Maybe a
New
new
partner,
partner,
that's
maybe,
what I
yeah.
think, that's what I think.
So you start practicing it in the.
And the licensee that comes in.
I sent an email for the world.
Sweet, appreciate it.
Okay. So moving along, if we're good with that, all networking events, is there one?
We wanted, can't real, but
Correct.
we wanted, on 26.
We had
I made- yeah,
schedules.
these-
We have
I
for the
made-
26.
Yeah.
I made contact
Next
with
one.
them, and then I forwarded the email, I'm not sure if they
What
got
do
you.
we have on the
No,
26th?
I give them the time.
We're gonna have,
26 is
we're
fine.
we're gonna have an, I don't know what happened.
Nothing happened.
Short notice that.
Um,
Is the chamber or me doing it?
We have to
Because
have-
oftentimes we will. work
Yeah, we were
together.
just gonna tag on to you guys this time. I figured it was,
Okay,
this
all
was
right,
gonna be the
sorry.
official one.
I listened to, there's a lot I couldn't hear. The full extent.
I was in there.
I just don't know if things are different now, considering all the stuff that changed from the last meeting.
Now it's not any money.
Yeah, no, I know, but that was part of
No,
it.
we're
That
just
was part of
broke.
the reason we picked those places.
So then, the question,
We're scheduled for the 26th with them, we can cancel that, obviously.
We're scheduled.
There's been no
for
marketing
26 in Cambridge Grill.
we just have done no marketing and it's a week out.
Is it really? Oh my
It's gonna-
God.
It's gonna be a
It's
week.
next week.
Right, because we were assuming that it was
Matthew, you
paid for and that, yeah.
I mean, we can start to blast it, yeah, we can start doing email blast, social media posts on the chamber and stuff like that.
I'm sure.
And I'm sure the town will get share the content with you guys and.
I told them like $600, 500.
Like 600.
All right.
to 500. Simon Davis
So-
was about 400.
So,
Who
we
from
had nine- we
our
had like
committee
nine
would like to
guys.
take the lead? Say you boys.
Not on that day.
Go first. this month is, the rest of this month is a blur to me, so.
Is there
Well,
a
these
committee member?
afternoons are always
like,
bad
to
for
take the
me.
lead?
Matthew?
Could you repeat?
Nobody's
that,
at
sir?
it. I'm just thinking, who event?
On, yeah,
Take a
I'll
lead.
make sure that we get the marketing out and stuff, yeah.
And,
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna do that
and the
anyways.
day of the event,
Yeah.
being there is the spokesperson for the. I have a very hard time at night times to commit,
Yeah.
so that's why.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna do that anyway.
Wait,
That's
that's Thursday,
fine.
so
That's
it's
fine.
5:30.
You know, like your family.
Five thirty.
That was
Yeah,
my point when I
That's
said-
fine, yeah, I'm doing all that anyways, so
Yeah.
so it doesn't matter.
Do
I'm
the-
all up
So
for it.
it's October 26th
Wednesday.
at Cancun, right?
I can, 5:30, yeah.
I'll second.
Should there be another motion?
Overdrive.
I think we need to
Yes.
motion to allocate the money, yeah,
Correct.
so I would motion to allocate $500 out of our budget towards our networking event at Cancun Grill on October 26th.
Cool.
Get a
I'll second
Second.
Third, fourth.
All in favor?
Aye.
I can be there.
Sure. Just for future purpose, they're only days like Wednesday.
Right, okay.
Because Monday's
Okay.
busy, Friday's very busy.
Tuesday, Taco
And then they
Tuesday.
have Taco
yeah.
Tuesday, and they have Taco
Oh,
Tuesday,
Taco
Taco
Tuesday.
Thursday.
Oh, they have Taco Thursday?
Yeah,
What did I
Taco
know
Thursday.
this?
They're gonna
Wanna
jump
go?
out. They're gonna jump shells.
Is Martin gonna be there?
Uh,
Did you know? Martin, because
May or may not.
he's very
I know
busy at his
the-
Doral
Yeah, this
office.
is really good over there.
The event on Saturday morning is not gonna go away ever.
I don't
So
mind.
we need to, we're going to
I'll
speak to
call him.
Maurice,
Back to me.
who runs
I'll
that.
He's
We
gonna
need
be
an
referring
alternate
to
place that we could hold.
the manager.
The last time we
Well,
were
the
there,
manager called you, so I have to show up. Hey, did you get a call me? Yeah, I tried.
years ago when he had the Italian restaurant here, you never get in it. They did it today. We did an event there.
Okay,
It was,
chamber.
Okay, moving along,
What's
Main
fun,
Finally
yeah.
Chamber Event Expo, that is
November
November
the
third, correct? Are
Yes.
you guys sold out? Is there, do we need to promote more?
Well, here's a good one. I have mentioned it. We should have a table there. I know Boston already has a table and some of the other places. so
Well,
we
the
should-
town usually has a table.
Well, the town, yeah. I don't know.
Right, but we usually piggyback on it
We
because we
piggyback
have
on
our cows and other EDC things.
Right, and don't we have banners and all that for EDC? I think.
That's,
I have banners.
We have a tablecloth.
Or
But I can use that
Tablecloth.
one,
Okay,
right?
right, so I gave you the link. That's how to
5:30.
register. Yeah,
On
that's
the
it.
26th,
No,
two,
she-
question mark.
I think she needs, right? she needs-
I would say 7:30,
It's only-
but 7:30 it starts to die.
Well, I sent you the link.
right.
Or the community.
Yes.
So,
so the town needs a register as a,
the township registry, yeah.
because we vote, I mean, they've always done
Have
it.
somebody, the Optimist hasn't registered and they
And
registered
probably the
today.
EDC too, and probably the EDC too. I would
Well,
say.
the EDC and the town usually go together, only because we are the EDC
Okay.
and many of us are already there on our own business.
Oh, no, maybe, no, right. I think that's a common, I think we should be, I could just think it's logical, you know, but
Right.
then again, I don't want to assume.
No, of course,
I don't wanna assume,
okay, and then for budget, because in the past, the towns paid for theirs, or we did
I
it?
think the town has paid for it.
but we gotta find out.
Well, but I mean, we would need to
Can
make a
you
motion.
check who paid for the table last year, if it was the town or was the community?
Yeah, I can do it right now. I don't have
Okay.
it in front of me right now, but I can double check for
Okay.
us, yeah.
I think it was a town. I don't remember.
Well, I mean, we can't walk away today without having
And what
something
membership
because
level?
we aren't gonna meet again until
Until
after,
after.
and we can't do this by email. or
Right,
something, so-
okay.
Is that a membership level, is it included?
It's
So,
one of those.
Is there like a high membership level that includes the table for that event?
Nope,
That's right.
no, it doesn't include the table, it includes the lunches,
No,
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 no.
okay.
but not the table.
But not that they were,
Actually,
actually separate.
included something.
The lunch.
how much is the table?
Well, last year, we, if I remember correctly, we appropriated money for that event.
I am with you, I think we did it, not the
99%
town.
sure we
You
did.
paid
I
it, you
think
paid
so.
for
I
it?
think we paid
Okay,
for
we
it,
didn't-
yeah,
we
not the
didn't
town.
pay for it.
I know the town
But
pays
this
for the
year we
I think it
membership.
was the
have,
last
this
minute.
year we
It
have,
was
the
the last
table is
minute thing.
275, and if you wanna have a banner, it's gonna be a
Yeah,
TV
for
with a
sure.
banner. Announcing all the businesses, that's an extra $100, whoever wants to do it.
Okay, so can I get a motion motion?
I've been spending all the money today, people. Somebody else
Someone
motion.
please. Done. My maker. Jose.
I will motion to spend the 275 on the table for the event for the EDC.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
And just Magali has.
Magali,
abstained.
Woody,
Oh, no,
and,
yeah, we can.
and Matthew recused.
Can we pass the
Who's
motion
gonna
with that?
handle that table? Who's gonna handle that
It was
table?
part of the chamber.
I know.
Is it just gonna be
We're in
I'm
the,
just curious, because
Well-
we're gonna be there.
I know.
My bag is gonna be. there.
I know, that was my
Yeah.
comments. So we'll have to make sure that it's being manned throughout, in the rotation or something. Maybe we can do a
Yeah,
little
no,
sign up.
Yeah,
That's
you're
usually how it is.
right.
We can do a little sign
It's in the
up.
same, it's in the same building.
Yeah.
You have
Send
two
the
other people
application
coming with me
immediately.
anyway, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right. That's the minute.
So we roll,
So
baby.
can we move along? Just 'cause it's getting late. I'm like, I just got told I need to stand up. Best of Miami Lake Small Business Saturday Awareness Campaign is currently live until tomorrow
Tomorrow's the last day for round one,
for round one. After that, it will be the finalists. If
which has
you,
been actually pretty interesting to track how it's been doing.
Excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt, but maybe I'm just a little bit off kilter here, but last time we had like email blasts and stuff, I haven't seen it, or am I missing it?
For small business.
The best.
For Best of Miami Lakes.
Yeah.
Right, we, or the best way, yeah, we've been posting on our social media.
Just social
We,
media?
we have a, blast going out tomorrow.
Okay,
If you guys are interested in the numbers, it's just information at this point. 5 directly from our website, and maybe this can give you guys some sort of information on where it's good to target if you ever did pay promotion in the future. 5 directly from our press release, from our Facebook promotion, we have 13, 27 from our Instagram link in our bio. So people are going to our page,
Okay.
clicking through it there. 2 from Twitter, which is pretty rough, but expected. Who uses Twitter and who will participate. 199 from Instagram stories specifically.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
great.
it's been a pretty, and we expected that, but getting the numbers is important.
Yeah.
Because other communities, they question social media and
okay.
they think more is more.
is it possible you can send us something so that way as a committee, we can shoot it out to any of our small businesses?
I have-
Or make sure that we've all maybe
I have a
nominated.
link
I
specifically.
nominated today from the
Oh, did
website.
you?
So I'm one of those 3 or 4.
One of those,
You got nominated?
5.
No, I nominate people. It was
Oh,
5.
I
I
have
said
a-
5 from the website and I was like, I did it
So
today.
we do it through SurveyMonkey, and
Yeah.
they provide, you can have different collectors, and that's how I can tell what
Right, feeders.
Twitter has,
Mhm.
Facebook has, the website has. And I have one specifically that we've used for sharing.
Okay.
That we've shared,
Mhm.
none so far, which is, but I'll give that to you.
If you could, because then we can blast it out to our networks
Yeah.
and make sure that people have an option if they haven't seen it elsewhere.
So that round 1 closes tomorrow. Saturday it opens up. I've already started making the next round, sort of briefly seeing who's leading, having safe bets on who's gonna make it to the second round.
And are we double checking and making sure that they are active? Like, because that was one of the pieces in the past, making sure that they have a current BTR with the town of Miami Lakes and actually.
Pay your taxes.
You know, I mean,
That
just,
makes sense.
I mean, yeah, if you're not a tax-paying, a patron of the town of Miami Lakes, you
We
can't be
can,
vested.
yeah, I don't expect it to be an issue.
right, I just, in the
Right,
past.
I don't expect it to be an issue, but that's something we should
Yes.
cross-reference.
Yeah.
Make sure that they're current
So,
order.
yeah, and
Well, I
then-
mean, it just doesn't,
No, it doesn't look good.
and
Can
then
you imagine? Yeah.
the final round ends on the 5th of November, and then we're gonna announce the winners right before Small Business Saturday.
how
which
is
is
it gonna be announced?
I'm assuming it's gonna be like it was last year, which wasn't been, and I wasn't here for last year, so
Right,
I would imagine putting out a press release announcing specific businesses, spotlighting them on social media.
We did a video.
So
that's right.
we could figure,
And then we did a then we did it
I'm
in
not sure that's
person,
part of the rollout.
an award afterward. Remember, we
Right.
went out to like several businesses.
Yeah, we have stickers, I believe.
I know we announced it because I was called out here like can you be here in an hour type thing?
Yeah.
I think we did a video.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's.
I'm gonna run that through Jacob, he's new with us,
And
he's
I know
great.
Eddie did one too, so I'm not sure if we've done them in the past, but I know he did one I did last year.
And what that's gonna allow, we could definitely look into making a video, even short form for social media, we could do a standard
And
video.
our video guy did, what's his name again?
Connie?
I think he was really
He
good.
likes us. So, yeah, we can do it, we can have a pretty nice celebration for them, no problem.
Questions? Conversation?
Just real quick, I guess, before we finish this, and I know this is old stuff, but I guess it's kind of new, but whatever happened with those webinar things? I don't think anyone mentioned it right now, right?
postponed them
We
to
postponed to
January.
January.
Okay, because it just has the old dates here.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, so we're
Okay.
meeting in November, right? That has to be on the agenda for November because we gotta
November.
get that in motion, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, that's it. I just wanted to double check.
Is there any additional business? Was it?
What's the next meeting?
Here, hold on.
Which we have,
November.
Should be the third.
I would imagine it's the 20 it's right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
The
it-
15th,
Oh, no, so after, okay, right,
because the
right.
first is.
The first is a Tuesday,
So
that's right.
it cuts us a little bit.
November 15th.
No,
Yeah,
November
November
15.
Do I send the link for the chamber registration? To you?
Okay.
Yeah, I sent you,
Yeah.
I
Wow,
sent you
yesterday.
Right.
You have it, you have the link?
Yes,
I
I
showed
sent
it
it.
So-
if they're the same.
Rosie, go see what Rosie.
Just a couple announcements.
Send it to
No, I
As you
already
can
sent
see,
it.
Send it, send it.
I'll send it to you.
Upcoming town events, the Youth Activity Task Force, I know is struggling for sponsors, so if anyone is interested or knows someone that might be interested in supporting their efforts, they're having their Halloween on Montrose or Nightmare on I can't think of what.
Montrose.
Montrose.
Nightmare on Montrose.
Nightmare on Montrose, on the 29th, which is a week from Saturday. So if you know anyone who is interested in getting involved and helping out, I do know they are looking actively for sponsors.
I think we just got one yesterday.
It's October 29th.
And the grant companies has come in and often, honestly, oftentimes we don't do this event because this one, the Youth Activity Task Force usually has a really great response is for sponsorships, but they are struggling right now. And so if anyone does know of anyone that would be interested in helping them out,
And if I may,
Absolutely.
if you have any sponsorship information, it has to go through Isle. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Isle.
Yeah.
Pastora.
Mhm.
She's great. She'll be more than happy to help, but the official sponsorship securing has to go through her. So if you can just CC her on your correspondences with any businesses, and I'll pass to her, and I can give you guys her email.
and then obviously the chamber event, Veterans Parade is November 6th. That's a Sunday, it's 10 to 12, great, come out, support.
Great history.
The EAB is having their school showcase in November, the Elderly Affairs Senior Social. I did not go past November 20th, so that does not include the reindeer run, which we heard about this evening. Well, I planned too far out. But again, I think it's important as a committee members to support our other committees. We are out there communicating with businesses, so it's important to know if we have new businesses in the community that want to get involved with the town, this is a great way to kind of, from a platform standpoint of being a community-minded business. And so I always like to keep those dates in the back of your head. The next meeting is scheduled for November 15th. After that, we do have a meeting in December, scheduled for December 20th. I don't know if we should be meeting then in December or
A lot of people are out.
That's
a lot of people are, it's a
And
really bad.
I leave the next day.
No, it's a really bad day. So I was gonna say either we need to move it to an alternate date or we
That's a
can
Tuesday.
also
Yeah, it's a
not.
Tuesday.
Not have it.
And oftentimes we have not met in December because of
Happy New Year.
the way our.
Do you guys want to maybe decide that next meeting?
Yeah, we can decide that, but I wanted to put that out there so people
No,
can put
good
their
idea.
money. Because if that is the case, then we do need to make sure that we lock down, some marching orders in November, specifically for the webinars, any future, the promotional videos and, any happy hours that may be, or in January, if that's the plan,
Right.
So just keep that in mind, in the back of your head. If there's no further business, I will.
Second, third.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Perfect.
7 o'clock on the dot.
Seven o'clock.
This Thursday, the ladies of the Delta Club we're